Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for joining. My name is Mia and I make videos about motherhood, mental health, mindfulness, and a bunch of other topics. My biggest goal for my channel is to be authentic and honest and to, be as unfiltered as possible. Today is a really exciting day. If you follow me, you may have noticed it's been a few weeks since I've uploaded. There's been a lot of stuff going on in my personal life, including 2 urgent care visits, an ER visit, not with me, but with my loved ones. So it was a stressful last few weeks. So thanks for being patient and waiting for me to upload again. But today is a super special video. I am so excited. I literally have been jumping around and dancing around like a fool all day long because I have been working on something for 2 or 3 months now, from the hours of like 5 a.m. to 7 in the morning to the middle of the night, whenever I can squeeze in time. Oh, by the way, this is Ellie, my daughter. You might be hearing my 2-year-old son in the room with his dad yelling. That's just him right now. He wants to be out here touching the camera, but she's joining me today, so that's pretty exciting. But yeah, so I have created a program called Uproot the Lies You Tell Yourself. And this program is basically a 10-week program. By the way, it is free. And I created it because after a year of going to a support group, seeing a psychologist, reading, researching, obsessing about mental health and how to get to mental wellness, one of the things that really stuck out to me that my psychologist recommended, that I've been reading from books that are written by psychologists and therapists, is there's a lot of things that we carry with us. There's a lot of self-defeating, negative, toxic lies that we carry with us that actually affect us on a day-to-day basis. A lot of my anxiety and depression and PTSD stems from childhood trauma, but there's also a good amount that's just caused because of my anxiety and depression. So that being said, the purpose of this program is to get you and me to uproot 5 lies that we tell ourselves so that we can face them, confront them, figure out where they came from, and then replace them with the truth one by one. Because here's the thing. I don't know about you guys, but I am a dreamer and a goal setter. I love the new year. I love setting goals. I love bucket lists and all the inspirational things you can get a hold of, podcasts and books. And for a long time, those things worked for me in high school until my depression really started kicking in and my anxiety really started revving up. So what happened was I would constantly set goals and I would just fall into this spiral of depression and anxiety, and I wasn't able to really pick myself out of it. And I started to really feel a lot of self-hatred. Feel like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I get this done? Why can't I stick to my goals? Don't you want to achieve things in your life, Mia? You know, we are happiest when we are challenging ourselves and when we're growing. I really do believe that. So what I've discovered over this last year of a lot of inner work and inner, just exploration of, hey, what's going on with me? What am I struggling with exactly outside of anxiety and depression? Or why do I struggle with anxiety and depression? Because we all have different reasons. And what I figured out was, it's not that I'm lacking in determination, and it's not that I'm lacking in motivation or perseverance. I'm a really hard worker. I can say that with confidence. And I know a lot of other people who are very motivated and hardworking, and they're struggling to grow, change, challenge themselves, make progress. And what I figured out was, it's not because you're not strong enough or smart enough or talented enough. Your problem, your obstacle toward growth, and my obstacle toward growth are these deep-seated lies. These lies that we don't deserve happiness. These lies that we don't deserve love. These lies that we don't deserve success. That's how she feels about it, clearly. Lies that, one of the lies I tell myself a lot is I'm a bad mom, or, that I'm not worthy to be successful, or that I have nothing to offer the world. There's a lot of lies that we tell ourselves, and you might have been telling yourself these lies for so many years that you don't even realize that you're telling them to yourself. And it's up to you to kind of uproot these lies. You have to do the work, but first we need to get into a space where we can actually figure out what are the lies. And that requires getting quiet with yourself. That requires inner work, introspection, taking time to do that stuff. And I know If you're like me, you probably like to see tangible results, tangible progress. I like to check stuff off the to-do list, but what I realized is I need to take a step back. I need to do the intangible work, the work that we can't see, the inner work, in order to enable myself to really move forward. Because what keeps me from waking up early to work on my dreams, what keeps me from going after that opportunity that I've always wanted, what keeps me from really showing up as an amazing wife and mom and friend, aren't that I don't have the desire, and it's not that I don't have the talent or the ability, it's that I've grown up with this belief that I'm just not good enough, that I'll never be a good enough mom, friend, wife, whatever. And some of you might be shocked hearing this because I put myself out on YouTube, but I don't put myself out on here because I'm perfect or because I have so much confidence in myself. I am sweating right now just sitting here talking to you all. It's not easy, but I feel called to be here, if that makes sense. I feel called to bring you along She's really tired. I feel called to bring you along on my journey of mental and emotional healing, because not only am I trying to figure out how to manage and live with my anxiety and depression, I am also trying to figure out how to forgive the people who caused a lot of trauma in my past. So there's a lot of that. And I know that even if you don't have, a diagnosed mental illness, or even if you feel like you don't even have a mental illness, that is great. But this program can still work for you, because this is ultimately for anyone that feels stuck. And a lot of us, I don't know a single person actually who doesn't harbor some sort of resentment or struggle for something that happened in the past, against someone that did something to them in the past. We've all been hurt at some point in our lives. So even if you don't struggle with mental illness, this program of uprooting these 5 different lies, which I should have had a piece of paper in front of me, but y'all, I am winging it today. I'll type them out in the description so you can go through the program. But this program really is for anyone that has past issues, trauma, dilemmas, resentment. If you need to uproot that. For instance, one of the lies that we go through, I think in week 3, is I'm ugly. And this is a lie that I struggled with a lot. And having 2 kids and having a postpartum body. Okay. It's hard to look at myself in the mirror and think, wow, you are beautiful. I've been practicing it and I've been getting better at it. But in high school, I struggled a lot with body image. And this is one of the lies that we're going to be going into. And I never really thought I was ugly, quote unquote, until I had a few people in my life tell me something about my hair or about my breast size or about my teeth. So I'm bringing this up because I want you to know that a lot of times these lies, they come from someone else or something else from our past. So it's really important that not only do we recognize the lies that we tell ourselves, but we figure out where they came from, so that we can then uproot them and realize, no, that didn't come from me, and then replace it with the truth. And here's the kicker. It's really hard to know what your lies are on your own. It's really hard to self-improve in isolation. And that's where the idea for this whole program came from. Because I have been working on myself for over a year. Like I said, I've been going to psychologists. And honestly, this program, the way it's structured, is kind of like how my therapy visits were. So know that this comes from something that works, right? I'm not just making this up. And I went to a support group, and it has kind of elements of that as well, which is the other side of this. So there's 5 lies. There's going to be 5 guided worksheets that I've created, which you can get in the link that I'm going to put in the description. It's on my website. I think it's www.miahemstad.com/resources, where you can download the first week's lie, which is I'm not worthy of love or happiness. And you can click a link to go to the private Facebook community that I've created. So it's Mia's Mental Wellness Community. And that's the second part of this. So basically, this is like a virtual support group. One thing that I've learned, and I've even read from Dr. Brene Brown, and if you haven't heard of her, you need to figure that out and fix that, remedy that, read all her books. She's incredible. She studies shame, guilt, worthiness, all of that good stuff, belonging. And she's done research that showed how difficult it is for us to heal wounds when we are trying to do it by ourselves. So that's why I created this. I'm at the next step of my journey, right? So I went through a year of going to a support group, seeing a psychologist, reading a lot, researching, writing, journaling, and I'm at this point where my growth is stunted because I can only journey so far by myself. Does that make sense? So a lot of people, I asked a few months ago, what is keeping you from seeking help? Like, what do you think is keeping people from getting help for their mental illness? And one of the main things that kept coming up was, I can't afford to see a therapist. I can't afford to go therapist hopping, which is basically trying to find a good therapist. You have to go to a bunch of different ones. I don't have insurance to pay for a therapist. I don't have time to see a therapist. I have a big family. You know, I understand. And what breaks my heart is if you're suffering or struggling with past trauma, resentment, or mental illness, you shouldn't have to wait until you have the money or the time to get yourself the help that you need. Because if there's one thing that tipped me over the edge, in May 2017, I was suicidal and I literally had a plan to take my life. What tipped me over the edge and almost caused me not to be here anymore was the fact that I waited too dang long to get help. And I don't want that to be the case for anybody else. And while I'm not a licensed mental health professional, and I'm not a psychologist, and I'm not a therapist, what a lot of us really need is just something. You know, something is better than nothing. And I'd rather offer what I do know from my journey so far and offer that in these guided worksheets and offer that in this private mental wellness community so that you can be supported and encouraged and be around other people who are struggling but want to get better, right? I want you guys to be around a group of like-minded people who are struggling and want to get better. That's the key. Not people who are struggling and want to bring you down. I want people in this group who are struggling and want to get better, or who are even just interested. Yeah. You're so cute. Who are interested in learning how they can get better and really just genuinely asking questions. So please do not hesitate to hit the link in the description, mia.hemstad/resources, to get on the first guided worksheet. It's not a book, it's not a dissertation, don't worry. It's short, brief, to the point. Work on it, because our first meeting, I'm gonna be doing Facebook Live. I'm gonna be doing Facebook Lives in the private mental wellness group every other week. So the first one is gonna be this Saturday, February 2nd, at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And of course there will be the replay if you can't make the live, but this is where we're gonna go over the first live, the first guided worksheet. So if you have a chance to please download that worksheet, print it out, work on it, work on the questions, go through the prompts, so that when you come on Saturday, we can work through we can work through the live together, and I can share with you what I've learned and kind of like my insights, and you can ask questions and we can learn from each other and I can learn from you. This is my first time ever doing this, right? This is born out of a need for me seeing that there are people who want help and they want support, but they can't afford it or they don't have time for it. This is born out of a need of, I want to create new habits and reach new goals and reach new heights in 2019, but I'm struggling to do that because I need to work on all this other baggage, right? I need to keep working on it. Like, I've addressed a lot of this in the past year of therapy, but like I said, some lies are so deeply rooted that we really need to work on them, maybe even for years. So the key is to get started. So if you're someone who has been struggling to grow, struggling to heal, struggling on your own, need a support group, but you don't have the money or the time or the energy, I've literally created this from the hours of 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. Sorry, there's neighbor kids having a great old time outside. I literally created this because it breaks my heart to see that there are so many people who need help and want help, but don't have the time and don't have the money. So I created this because I care. Like, that's just the long and short of it. I created this because I care, and because I also need to go through this inner work. I need to do this introspection as well, because at the end of the day, you guys, it's not you can't, no matter how much you declutter, and believe me, I'm speaking from experience, no matter how much you declutter, no matter how much you change your wardrobe or change your hairdo or your makeup or your friends or your physical body, even no matter how much working out or eating healthy, you can do all of those things. But if you do not address the resentment or the wounds and the scars and the mental struggles inside of you, you cannot really change your life. If you want to change your outer world, you have to start with your inner world. And I know this from experience. I know this from a year of fighting so hard. After being suicidal in 2017, I made a promise to myself that I wasn't going to live this way anymore. I didn't want to live this way anymore, and I still don't want to live this way. And while I'm still fighting the good fight, I'm still very much in the middle of it, and I need your guys' support. And I also want to offer you guys support from me through this program, Uproot the Lies You Tell Yourself. So if you're not following me on Instagram or on Facebook, I always link those down below. Please do, so that you can be updated on what lie we're working on next, so that you can get announcements on when the next meetings are. I really hope that you guys join. And even if you don't have time to work on the worksheet, just jump into the group. You know, see the conversations that are happening there. Maybe there'll be something that's said or shared that could help you. That's really all I have for you guys today. I just really appreciate all the support. At the end of the year, this channel passed 100 subscribers, and to me that is a huge win, and I just can't believe that I'm still here and doing this 2 kids later. You know, battling mental health issues is not easy. It makes it hard to show up, and there's this small voice inside of me that keeps saying, show up, Mia. People need you to show up, and I need to show up for myself as well. I need to show up for myself because I matter and my life matters, and finding healing and growth and change is important for me, and it's important for you. So keep showing up for yourself. Show up to this group, show up to this program for yourself for this year. If you want this year to be better, this is a great place to start. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope that you join me. I hope that you don't let fear tell you that you can't do this or that you're too embarrassed. Whatever, like, make this year the year that you stop letting fear drive your life, and stop letting anxiety and depression tell you what to do and where to go, because y'all, I live that way and I almost died because of it, and I'm not exaggerating. So again, the link is in the description, mia.hemstad/resources or miahemstad.com/resources. Please join me. I hope to see you there on Saturday, 9 a.m., February 2nd, Pacific Standard Time. And if you can't be there for that meeting, we're going to be meeting every other week after that. Again, there are 5 lies, so this program should last about 9 or 10 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a process. Don't think that it's something we're just going to like rush in and go through all of it in one sitting. That's not how real growth works. And that's why I really don't like those programs where people are like, you're going to have transformation overnight, 24-hour programs. Like, no, this is grueling hard work. Like, I'm not going to lie, but it's so worth it. I went through something along this nature when I went to a psychologist for a year. This stuff works. This kind of inner, unglamorous journaling. Look at me right now. I'm like working my abs. It works. It works because it's actually the hard work you're supposed to do. There's no gimmicks, there's no tricks, there's no hacks. You gotta face the lies, figure them out, confront them, uproot them, and replace them with the truth. And it's hard work. And that's why I don't want you to do it alone. And that's why I would love for you to join the Facebook community I've created so that you don't have to do it by yourself. So this is just a way for me to connect with you all better, because while I love having YouTube and having YouTube videos, having a Facebook group enables me to communicate with you more in real time and more personally. So I really hope that we can go on this journey together. And I'm glad Ellie got to join us for this video. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.